A little bit more on this. We're now joined by forecaster at the South African Weather Service and somebody that we used to have here in our studios, Elizabeth Webster. Elizabeth, good to see you again. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, so good to be back, Peter.
All right, so part of the work that you do is forecasting and looking at predicting perhaps extreme weather that can cause disaster. And I just wonder, what have you seen about KwaZulu-Natal this weekend?
So what we're expecting is, we've got this cold front. It's already affecting the country. It made landfall last night in the Western Cape and it's moving eastwards. So currently situated over the central interior. However, this cold front is expected to intensify, and that's where the concern comes in. The second concern is that, as we've seen a lot mentioned in the news recently, of course, is the devastation that KwaZulu-Natal has gone through recently. So any amount of rainfall will cause further havoc there. So we're seeing that this cold front, or it's actually intensifying to what we call a cut-off low, so that's an intense weather system, will move out off our east coast, affecting KwaZulu-Natal, and therefore resulting in further showers and rainfall for that region.
All right. So how long is this going to last? Do you have any idea?
Yes, so the rain was already set in over the central and western parts of the country. By tomorrow, moving eastwards, so reaching KwaZulu-Natal tomorrow evening. The day for concern, or the day that we've got our warnings out for, is really for Saturday. So the rain starts overnight Friday, but most of the rain is expected on Saturday. By Sunday, things start to clear up, and by next week, we should see good clearance.
All right, and you've mentioned cold weather. I mean, are we going to see freezing temperatures?
Well, so up in Gauteng, we are definitely seeing possible single-digit maximums for Saturday. So in places in Gauteng, there's definitely some snow on the cards around Lesotho, as well as the high-lying areas of the Eastern Cape, and even those high-lying areas, more of the interior of KwaZulu-Natal. So those areas that border around our neighboring country of Lesotho.
So rain in KZN, and we're worried about flooding. But sometimes this rain travels. Are we expecting it to reach other parts of the country?
Yes, so this rain is really affecting, or this weather system is really impacting most of the country. So the rainfall has already occurred in the Western Cape. Now it's currently over the central interior, even though it is the start of winter, Gauteng could see some rainfall as much from tomorrow evening as well as Saturday, possibly even Sunday. So this weather system is affecting basically all the provinces. So there is good chances of rainfall, but most of the activity is really over the southern and eastern parts of the country.
Can we see some snow in some parts?
Yes, so snow is a definite possibility, especially over those high-lying areas bordering Lesotho. So especially over those northern interior of the Eastern Cape, as well as those southwestern parts of KwaZulu-Natal, there is definitely a possibility of some snowfall in those regions.
So this inclement weather, how is it going to manifest? Are we going to see storms, heavy rains? What is it going to look like?
Yes, so what this weather system is bringing with it is some heavy rain or disruptive rainfall to parts, especially over the Eastern Cape as well as KwaZulu-Natal. We're seeing snowfall. We're seeing windy conditions. So the wind will definitely start picking up. That's what the residents will feel first, is that wind move in. And then, of course, the drop in temperature. And we're even keeping a very close eye. We haven't issued a warning yet, but there is a possibility for severe thunderstorms. So large amounts of small hail, but we haven't issued that warning as yet. We're just monitoring the situation quite closely just to ensure that we keep an eye on what's happening. And then if necessary, we will definitely issue warnings for severe storms if we see that that is a possibility.
All right. Hail, is that something that we might see as well?
Yes, so with a severe storm, we could see, especially at this stage, we're looking at large amounts of small hail. So, but that, of course, can be damaging in itself. So that's what we're keeping an eye on, as well as those strong and damaging winds if some thunderstorms do develop as a result of this weather system.
All right, so KwaZulu-Natal, the Western Cape often also has extreme weather. And I just wonder if they're going to get caught up in this system.
The Western Cape the cold front has moved over already. So it's given them some windy conditions as well as some rain. Not too bad though. That is where our winter systems come from. But with this particular system or cold front, that it's going to intensify. So right now it's busy intensifying, and it's intensifying over the central interior of the country. So that is over the eastern part. So it's moved east already of the Western Cape. So they've really missed out on the brunt of it. While it's intensifying now and becoming what we call a cutoff low, it's over the central interior, and that's what's going to move then further eastwards and out off our east coast.
All right, so your biggest concern at the moment is what might happen in KwaZulu-Natal?
KwaZulu-Natal is definitely a high concern for us, as well as large amounts of rain is also expected in the Eastern Cape. So we're also monitoring that situation very closely. We're in constant coordination or contact with our disaster managers on the ground. So they're very much on high alert in KwaZulu-Natal as well as in the Eastern Cape.
All right, tell me, I mean, we are seeing a lot of weather patterns developing, a lot of it linked to climate change. I know that the SA Weather Service is now starting to spend a lot more time in terms of trying to predict these extreme weather to help in the process of disaster management. Tell us the work that you're doing there and what it can mean in terms of saving lives even, I guess.
Yes, we're working very closely with disaster management, but as you mentioned, also looking at climate. And what climate is really what's happened in the past. So we're analyzing how frequent are these large weather systems or these intense weather systems, and using that information, trying to work out, can we expect more of these weather systems in the future? Will they become more frequent, more severe? That's the type of investigations that our climatologists, as well as even our research scientists, are busy doing to try and figure that type of thing out. What we are then doing is trying to communicate this to disaster managers using whatever platforms we can. We're in constant communication with them to try and make sure that they are aware, that they can put in those necessary actions ahead of time so that we can save lives together.
Elizabeth, we're going to have to leave it there, but it's so good seeing you again. Thanks so much for your insights. Greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you for